I have a new slow feeder mat for my dogs and I'm loving it because it fits a lot on it. So we start off with a little bit of a bowl. This is going to be really great for any of your kibble or your raw food, anything that needs to be contained a little bit more. This is a great place for it. We also have a little bit of a maze, as I'm going to call it. So this is also nice for having kibble in there. I put like smaller pieces of things or anything where you want them to work a little bit. So if you have sliced vegetables or fruits, that's going to be really good here as well. Now we've got a little spiky area, so you can see how it's kind of got like those little spikes there, so your dog has to snuffle through it. This is going to be good for smaller type things, and this is going to be nice for licking. That licking texture is going to be really good for your dog. So smaller bits of food, you can put some kibble in here. You're not going to be able to fit your unkibble in here, but you've got options with this side of it for some of that bigger food and things that are going to be less lickable. Then we've got the lick-worthy side. So we've got these little bone shapes. This is really nice for dogs with smaller tongues. It's going to be really nice for things like, you could put like peanut butter in here, yogurt in here. We've got smaller bumps. So this is kind of like this, but much smaller. This is going to be really nice on the texture. It's going to be really good for the licking that dogs like to do. And you can then put anything that's going to be smaller or thinner in here. So this is less of your like raw diet and more of things like the yogurt or the peanut butter or honey or something that's going to be a little bit thinner for your dog to try to work their way out of. And then we've got the little scales down here. I like to call it my mermaid pattern. And this is going to be good. It's a little bit of a bigger well, but it's not going to be huge like it is over on this side. And you can put in your small things here. This is actually really nice because these are individualized compartments. So with this, you have the ability to use more than one thing. So for this, you're going to see a lot of, like, if you try to use two separate things on here, it will blend together. This will very clearly run together. This is not going to. So if you have like, I like to smush fruits on this one, so like watermelon or blueberries, or you can put other like smushable fruits on here for them to lick. This is going to be individualized compartments, so I might put some honey up here, I might put a little bit of peanut butter here, and they're not going to run into each other. So you can actually treat this as multiple locations if you're giving them small bits of things. If you're giving them like liquidy type supplements, this would be a good place for that. So you've got 6 different tiers here and a lot of space for this. This was actually a little bit smaller than I thought. So I only bought it for my 2 big dogs, but when I got it, I realized I need to get it for my little dog as well. It's going to be a really good fit for her too. And then you can orient this however you need to for your dog to eat out of it. If you are going to be documenting this, if you're going to be filming this, put this side near your dog, because if you put that side away from your dog, then it's going to block your camera source. So turn it around like this, keep this side toward your camera and let them eat out of this first. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It does have a bunch of the suction cups on the back, so that thing is sticking. As you're preparing your mat, I do recommend you put it down on a towel on your counter. Otherwise, this is going to stick to your counter. And this is incredibly soft, flexible silicone. So when you go to pull this off, everything is going to be catapulted off of your mat if you do not have it on something before you put it on that counter. Ordinarily, I'd tell you to put something on like a paper plate or another mat. But this is kind of bigger and an odd shape, so a towel might be better for you. And that way you can just move it over. Otherwise, you can do and I also recommend putting a towel like on a cutting board or something, and then using that cutting board or tray to transport it over to your dog, because I definitely tried to pick this up with just a towel and it's kind of floppy, and that means I had to hold that towel real tight to get those over to my dog. So this is a great mat. I'm going to link it down below for you. There's actually a number of places that you can get this, but it's definitely one that I'm getting for Ember now, because I definitely have one for Lucy and one for Gemma, but I don't have one for my little dog because I thought it'd be too big. It's a good size for her, because then I can use little bits and pieces of each section. She can get the enrichment and engagement, but I don't have to use the entire thing. I don't have to put a ton in here. I don't have to put a ton in here. I can put little bits and pieces, but she can get the engagement and interaction of all of the different sections, which is really, really nice. So I do recommend we'll be getting more, maybe getting some in different colors, because they do have different colors of this. But this is definitely what I'm going to keep on using, and I'm going to keep using while I'm doing fun things. I might even take this for travel with my dog as well. Follow along for more ideas on how you can keep your dog healthy and safe as you are traveling, documenting them through photos and videos, and giving them the really good nutritious food that they need to level up as pups as you are continuing to help them grow as their parent. We'll see you in tomorrow's daily episode.